Hi, it's Tess, and today's tip is tip 451, and I'm calling it about focusing on one thing, weight loss, focusing on one thing today that will compound and bring you amazing results tomorrow. And the way I kind of approach this today is I'm currently reading and listening to Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins, and Doc V often talks in our group about how the disciplines or the practices that we're going to learn or that we put into play today, it's the same whether it's the financial part of our lives, the relationship part of our lives, the weight loss part of our life. No matter what area we want to work on, the skills that we need are the same. So what I did today is I actually was reading and listening to Tony Robbins, and the points he was giving, I just twisted them from money to weight loss, and it works. So that's just another way for me to confirm that what I'm learning is going to help. And I thought it was interesting because Tony Robbins, in the particular area that I was listening to, was talking about how we create a promising future, how we create the freedom fund or the freedom life, the healthy body that creates the freedom life. When things are going well, everyone competes to be involved. He was kind of talking about like the markets and stuff. And when everything's going well, everyone is happy to be a part of what is going on in the journey. When things aren't going well, people kind of back away or they tell you all the things that you're doing wrong. So I guess I was kind of thinking about like on the weight loss journey, and Doc V always says, Chris Nagel always says, all of the mentors say, you become, the best you can become is the greatest of the five closest people you surround yourself with. So if you're continually fighting a battle, and your battle isn't supported, you have to look for a different group of people to support your journey. Because it's almost like, in a way, again, I'm not trying to be an expert I'm just trying to keep my journey moving forward. But he kind of talks about like even the stock market. Everybody jumps on board and they're all buy when everything's high, and as soon as things go down, they jump off and they sell everything. Well, it's almost like weight loss is kind of the same thing. Everybody's there, support, as long as you're doing what they're doing. But if they're not doing if you all of a sudden change direction and you head in a different avenue, then they actually jump off board and they leave you because you are making them uncomfortable because you're going down a different path, a path that isn't the usual path of the group. They're on the high road and they think you're on the low road. It may be the opposite, but that's what they think. So you're going against things. And if there's one thing through a lot of the learning I've seen is that I have been guilty of following what other people told me for a long time. So I was following the masses when I needed to be following the exceptions. And I think that's kind of where we have to evaluate. I'm not saying that we don't care about and love the people in our lives, but we have to evaluate if they're supporting the journey that we're on. Because if they are the ones that are on the wrong side of the stock market all the time and they're on the wrong side of our weight loss journey all the time, it may be that we don't talk to them about that and that we have a different network of people that help us with that. Because it would be really hard if the people around me, if the only network of people I have, and the people in my life, because I'm 6 years out, are very supportive because they've seen success, they know that I'm working the journey, and they know I'm moving forward. So they do support me. But if my circle was of people that had the same struggle as I do, and they're not ready to make changes, they could cause me to derail. And it was so interesting because I'm listening to Tony Robbins' Master of the Game, and it was anything that is being talked about, any practice is being put into play. You can put it in whether it's finances, relationships, weight loss, health, whatever you want to put it towards. So basically in the financial area, but it's the same as what we've learned in the weight loss area, you want to make it simple. One small simple thing to change today. You want to make it steady. As you master this one simple thing, consider it a normal daily practice and go for the next simple thing. That's the power, because as you continue to grab that one simple thing, work on that one simple thing, add it to the pile of practices for the day, you will get to a point where you'll be tipping over and you become very powerful. Your journey becomes powerful. And what that is in the game of money, they talk about compounded interest. I see a few people on with me, so hello, thank you for being here. And again, I was listening to Money Master of the Game by Tony Robbins, and Doc V, all of the mentors talk about how when you learn your practices and you learn your skills, they apply to all areas of your life. So the idea of compounding interest, we all know that that's the greatest tool. Albert Einstein says you either know and understand compound interest and you earn it, or you pay it. And it was kind of talking about even with weight loss. You will gain compound results by taking that simple step, making steady simple steps, turning them into practices, adding the next simple step, turning it into a practice, because it will compound in results down the road. It says what we all tend to do is we focus on what we think we're missing today, and the focus needs to return to what we can do today, because we're creating a beautiful tomorrow. And I used to be guilty of that a lot, but now I'm seeing the benefits of being able to walk 7, 8 miles, 10 miles a day. The benefits of being able to get on a plane and I don't need a seatbelt extender. The benefits of feeling younger than I felt 10 years ago, and knowing that life can be much more active than it was before. So I want to kind of keep moving in this direction. And some of the other things that are just the basics, again, that have helped me a lot is knowing that I can learn to love the things that are part of my life now. Even my mom and I were talking about this. A lot of processed foods, when you remove yourself from them for a period of time, you get that chemical taste from eating them. And I actually love, like now you can tell a really good raspberry, a really good strawberry, or peaches. I love peaches when they're just on the edge of being too ripe, and the flavor is amazing. But what happened prior to surgery is that I had so much of a chemical flavor that the true sweetness that was provided in a natural fruit was lost on me. I never liked it. I wanted to add something to it. But at that point in time, I had too many chemicals in my body. So what I will say is, maybe it's scary and maybe it's uncomfortable to pick a new road, but this road has been one of the most beautiful roads that I've gotten on in my life. And it is that simple little step that I turned into a practice that becomes a habit, that I go back to. Once I have that as a practice and a habit, I go to the next little step and keep building. And once it compounds, when I stop back and I look back, and Dr. was talking about this in group this week, when I look back and I see where all these different dots connected to get me to where I am today, it's a beautiful journey. I never dreamed that when I started this journey with weight loss surgery almost 6 years ago, I never dreamed I'd be sitting where I am right now. I never dreamed I'd be doing the things I'm doing. I just wanted to be able to stop watching from the sidelines. And it's done that and so much more for me. And I hope that for all of you guys. Just reading my notes on the sides here. There's a power in it. It feels great. It's and knowing that, like, my life, when I go forward, it can be what I want it to be. You can do what works for you. You can move forward in ways that you gave up on or you never knew were there. Hi, Tay, good to see you. And for me, it's created a new way of life. I know. Oh, thank you, Tay. I probably practiced on you when you were little. But it feels so good to have a life in a completely different way now. I know truly that anything I want to do, I can do. And I'm looking at avenues to do a bunch of different things that I never even thought were dreams, but are very exciting and a lot of fun for me. So I'll be sharing with you guys as I move forward, but most know that I'm writing a book, and it all started when I went to Sundance in March because I got stuck on the zip line. But it was kind of that moment where I was stuck on the zip line after I've lost all this weight. I was totally within the green, because they had a scale where it had green, yellow, and red, and you had to weigh within the green or the yellow to be able to get on it. So when I got stuck, the first thing I went to is, I shouldn't have done this, I'm too heavy, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. And I went into that place where I beat myself up. But the whole thing is, I'm not that person anymore. I just fell back into that person. And what I realized is that when they actually from the ground called up to me and said, do you want us to help you get in, or do you want to be rescued? I realized, and I understand now, in my life, there may be a time that I need a rescue, but most often I'm going to choose the hand up. It's almost like the Bible verse. You can teach a man to fish, or you can give him the fish. And for the rest of my life, as much as I possibly can, I'm going to ask to be taught to fish, because this kind of a life is so much more exciting than the life I was leading, watching from the sidelines. And if I take too many rescues in my life, it will be from the sidelines. And life under your own foot power and under your own direction is by far a better choice. So thank you guys for being here. Tay, it's so good to see you. Take care of yourself. It's a hot one out there today. You and the little one need to be careful and get lots of water. Thank you so much. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful day, and thank you for being here. Bye-bye.